As well as amazing new bikes here at the Tour de France, we can't neglect the smaller things, the helmets, the shoes, the clothes. No, so we've collected some of the best.
This is the new jersey that giant-alpecin will be using for this year's Tour de France. A nice white design. This is the one-piece suit provided by their clothing manufacturers Ecce they'll be using in all the road stages. So it has the standard 3 rear pockets and the internal radio pocket as well. Not much new there, but what sets this one apart from standard clothing is this material here, which is Dyneema, apparently the strongest material in the world. Now, the team experimented with this in the shorts last year with version 1.0, and feedback from the riders said that when they crashed, they took less skin off than they would do with normal material. And so they've come up with version 2.0 by working with DSM scientists, Ecce themselves and the team, and they've now added it across the shoulders and the top of the back here. And that's great news for the riders because the likelihood is they will crash at some point, unfortunately. And if they take less skin off, not only will it be less painful for them, but they'll also spend less energy recovering from it.
Now, if you want new tech, this is about as new and as techy as it gets. Check it out. That little thing there, that is the new Shimano power meter. Now, this is in the prototype stage still, even though Shimano have announced it now with the new Dura-Ace group set. That is obviously still Dura-Ace 9000, not the new 9100. But look at it, there it is. How neat is that? So the way it works is we've got one sensor on the left-hand crank, we've got one on the right, and then the two are connected actually with a wire down through the bottom bracket axle, and then that obviously transmits via amp plus, I believe, up to the head unit there.
Whilst it's really important for the riders to have all of their bikes, spares and all, in exactly the same position, it's also crucial that their cleats are in exactly the same position on the various shoes, so their first pair and the spare pairs that they have in the two team cars behind the race. And that little jig there ensures that they are in the same position.
Over at Team Lotto NL Jumbo, we have seen some new helmets from Bell. Check it out. How cool is that? It's just got the MIPS technology on the inside. And if I'm not mistaken, that looks like an aerodynamic but yet vented helmet. But that's very cool. I do like that. Nice and low profile. Looks like there's a layer of something sandwiched between the polystyrene there. That's quite an interesting touch. I wonder what the tech behind that is. Presumably better impact protection.
We've got some new tyres for you. These are the brand new Specialized Turbo Mountain all-road tyres, which Alberto Contador is going to be using in the mountains. Now, they've made them so that they've got less rolling resistance, but they are also very light indeed as well, just 260 grams and they're 22 millimeters in width. Now, they use specialized unique compound to them, Gripton. Sounds very cool. Sounds grippy, doesn't it? Now, they will be available to the public in a limited number, 200 to be exact, and they'll cost about $100 each. But do bear in mind that the lifespan of these is only about 1,200 kilometers. That extra lightweight and low rolling resistance does come at a cost. Now, you may have seen this used by a few of the riders already at the 2016 Tour de France, but this is the Specialized Prevail 2 helmet. They made a few improvements over the previous one. Incredibly, it's even lighter. The Prevail 1 was 200 grams. They've shaved 10 grams off that, so it's down to 190. It doesn't sound like a huge amount, but I guess it is 5%. The whole profile at the top here is apparently much lower, but it does go a little bit further down to the side. And part of the reason for that design on the side is to improve the acoustics, i.e. how the wind sounds when it goes past your ears, so you don't get so much wind noise. And that could actually be quite handy in terms of being able to hear more when you are in the peloton. Now, all of the Specialized sponsored teams will have access to use these helmets should they wish to, but one person has a very special helmet. Check that out. This is, of course, Peter Sagan's special Rainbow Bands version. Now, not everything that's new and tech related is necessarily cycling related here at this year's Tour de France. This is Team Sky's new beast. Many of you will know that they went from Jaguar cars over to the Ford in the winter months, so they've got all new team cars, and this is their brand new Mustang. Now, I must confess, I know very little about cars. It looks fast. It says 5.0 here. I think that means it's a 5-litre engine, and I understand it has a lot of horsepower. Wow, how good does that sound? You can hear a noise in here. Oh, it's nothing. Just a couple of inflatable bars with a generator and some really cold water inside in the back of a transit van. Good for recovery, apparently. Now this is an extremely important piece of equipment for teams and for pro riders, because this exactly to the millimetre measures all of the geometry and dimensions that they have for their own particular bike. And what that allows them to do is make sure that all their spare bikes are exactly the same as their first race bike, should they need to go over to that during the middle of a stage with the mechanical, etc. But also in this instance, Direct Energy are going to use these special yellow bikes during the Tour de France. So they're currently building them up using this rig to make sure that each rider has their bike set up in their optimal position.
Well, there's some choice tech, I think you'll agree. Now, if you want to see that video I mentioned about the pro bikes here at the Tour de France, if you click just up there, you get through to that very one. Or to see videos about pro bikes, click just down there, because we have got all of ours in one handy spot. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to GCN before leaving this video. To do that, just click on the globe.